Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay. You don't need to do an intro. Nobody does intros on YouTube anyway. April 19th, 11:21 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. I don't remember how I did his voice.
Look at him and that's how you did his voice.
Quick, do an intro to cover up for the fact that I don't know how
Hey, it's Gabby the game night and I'm back with some more things. I did not apologize to say the term I'm busy and he's playing. Stop skipping to the dialogue.
I don't want to do the voice.
Do the voice.
Wait, look at me. Oh, okay. It's just a shadow. I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know. I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened? Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. I just want to hold you so tight. Please come to my arms. I've been very lonely. You'll scare Trucy. Speaking of which, where is she? You have seen the problem yourself. The letter. The one shot in the forehead one, right? Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death. Why not? This is something I will not say, for now at least. What's this for now business? I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves. We? You wanted to know about the night of the incident. Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. 2? Yes, the one I had used on stage. And the one that had been used by my partner, Valent. Oh, for the Zack and Valent's quick draw thing? My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? Recall there was a reason I could not refuse. His last such request, though not his first. So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before? To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy. Was Magnifi coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in true grammar, right? Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. Wait, is he wearing a pistol on his belt now?
Please tell me he isn't.
He's got a holster on his hip.
That could have anything in it.
What would he be allowed to carry into the courtroom, though, that he would carry in a holster?
That could be anything.
What were those called? Rifling marks? Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you. Concerning the case. Concerning the case. You mean there's something else you can tell me? Ha! Ha ha! You're a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks. Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. What? Magnifi Grammare. The old devil, he was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. If he talks, you're doing his voice. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
Don't talk to him. Thank God.
What did you talk about? Ha ha ha, Mr. Wright. Did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. Zack Grammare. He seems pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I am in your hands. Right, let's get back in there. April 19th, 11:37 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 7.
Court is now back in session.
During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head.
Well, there's news and the rifling marks.
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, though they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, it's not very conclusive, is it?
I don't think he'd be able to get away with those shades in the courtroom unless he just had eye surgery or something.
I don't think most people in this game would be able to get away with what they... Francisco put on a whip. It's all whipping people.
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of Troop Grammary's famous duos, Zack and Valent. Valent Grammary. So we get to meet the great Magnify's other disciple. He was younger then. His voice could have been different. You can do it.
Nah. You're right, it is voice.
Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. You realize how little voices you're getting to do in this segment? And
yes.
I'm playing the fucking game. It's like, this is just go. I'm good. Valent Grammary. Magician. You're a decisive witness, are you?
You can prove your fellow student upon his guilt.
Fate. The grand illusion filled with traps and tricks. He looked better with the mustache.
Real.
Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were in there that late? If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes. Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? No, I always get the characters. Which I guess is appropriate because I'm Phoenix's voice. So yeah, you're right. We do always get the characters. I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. That looks very familiar. Wait. That's the same letter Zack Grammary received. Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! Good lord, look at those boots.
Order! Order! Order!
And what does it say?
Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself. To my beloved student Valent, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come the 13th, 11:20 p.m., I will ready a gun with which you are to shoot one shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Magnify Grammary. Why, it's practically the same! The court accepts this into evidence. You seem preoccupied, I got it.
It's most unusual. Exactly what is going on. Exactly what your Troop Grammary up to.
My witch, you mean?
I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him.
By the way, cat. In a box.
Cat
Wait, no, hold on. There. I'll send that to you so you can edit it into the video. I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion, Herr Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zack Grammary, stands accused.
Tell us why. There's two of them.
Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. Fascinating, though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact,
your difference is to read the designated time.
As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up. Yo, let's be magicians.
Yes.
Start doing magic on YouTube.
Yes.
That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnify requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
Did he kill the guy?
So you're the one who reported the crime? Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court.
Not really.
But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zack Grammary, is guilty.
And if it wasn't Zack Grammary, then the killer was you, Valent. And no disappearing act will get you out of that.
Have you been friends with the murderer this whole game?
Well, he wasn't convicted back then because he's still walking free.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know if we'll prove that it was him. Oh yeah, I gotta press.
Oh, goddamn, I gotta play the game.
I'm so used to you playing, I'm sitting here waiting for you to press.
Dude, why are you playing? He says with the controller in his hand.
Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m. Indeed! In magic, timing is everything. Right. Phoenix Wright. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic. That I just kind of did. Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You went at the designated time, and what did you see?
Gunpowder. The powder of guns.
So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby? I did not consider this, to be honest. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. Now you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination. The witness will refrain
from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is strong to imagine things. Yo, the judge being suspicious of a witness? This really is... Yeah.
Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse. Someone does, and my partner, he did not refuse. But Magnafee wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zack couldn't? Because I have a will of steel, of course. And buns of steel. I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't also strong. But my buns are.
Bars.
So which is it? Mind if I continue? There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim, one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zack has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I'd better dig around here a bit more and see what I turn up. Mr. Val, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely, how many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what, precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zack and Valent quick draw shoot 'em, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket.
I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all.
So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam, alakazing, alakaboom.
Is the number of pistols really so important?
The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor.
Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony.
What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown.
Did you, though?
So you took the only pistol there and fired it? That's correct. And that pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene. Good show. I see you, too, are a magician of sorts. And you're an idiot of sorts. Why is that face going with this? Phoenix feels like he's got him here, and he's sweating like... I mean, what the hell? I guess he's just like, man, you're an idiot. Do you have any idea what you just said? I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. So how about heating up this trial a bit? These slow ballads bore me. I've got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should ask about something else. Think I really need to ask about anything else? And what's Grandma going to say about the bullet in the pistol?
I don't know, you can try.
It feels superfluous, but... In order to shoot a pistol, you need a bullet. Where was the bullet? I entered the room and took the pistol in my hand. The bullet was already loaded, ready to fire at any time. A magician is always prepared, you see. Prepared for... One never knows when a miracle will be called for. A magician always has 7 doves in his pocket and a white rabbit up each sleeve. Clearly, we're dealing with professionals here.
It is bullet that was lodged in the pistol. It's so important.
The dialogue said loaded, but hey, you can ad-lib. You told me it was important, so we're going with it. Without a loaded bullet, we wouldn't have a murder. It's very important, Your Honor.
Very well. I don't know what's important.
Please add the detail to your testimony.
testimony.
What can I do? But obey. If the pistol was already loaded, something doesn't make sense. Why weren't the victim's fingerprints on it? You should know that we of Troop Gramarye are capable of many things. One of these being the levitation of iron balls without touching them. There's no magic involved here. The shooter was just methodical is all. He simply wiped everything with fingerprints. Can't really do much with fingerprints that weren't there. Maybe I should ask about something else. Well, that led us nowhere.
Tons of location. I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, whatever. We can stretch out the series all you want. Where the fuck was the goddamn pistol when you walked in that motherfucking hospital room? I'm sorry, you can cut that out. Where exactly was the pistol when you entered the room? On top of a small bedside table it was, as if to say, here I am, take me into your hand, pull my trigger, shoot him. The victim clearly wanted to be shot. But why? Perhaps he wanted to go out with a bang. Y'all see what I did there? You see? Yeah, okay. Yet we will never hear the truth from his lips, so all we can do is guess. Is location of the pistol all that important? I don't think so, but Gabby wanted me to go down this rabbit hole.
Well, I just wanted to check out of it.
Without a murder weapon, there would be no murder. It's very important, Your Honor.
Then just do it.
Well, if you don't want to be part of this, just go.
I don't want to be part of this. Please add this detail.
This can be vidiously light. I can obey, or not, but I guess I'm going to obey with my mustard yellow shirt, cloak, hat, whatever. Why did you do that? I would think calling the police would come first. Then you know nothing of the relationship between a master and his disciple. If your master says die, you die. Do you understand? So you're going to die. Certainly not. It was but an example. In any case, I wanted to fulfill my obligation. A final courtesy to a great mentor, perhaps. Or perhaps not. Perhaps I'm totally confused. Maybe I should ask about something else. Okay, I've already done this. There wasn't any other route to go down, was there?
Well, if one of them looked good to you, go that route.
Didn't I ask them both already?
Well, yeah, but you can present evidence or something at it.
I didn't see anything. I mean, I can't present anything here. What are you talking about?
Well, no, after he adds it to his testimony.
Oh, well, why'd you have me do this again? I mean, he's admitting to firing the bullet that was in the gun, and we've shown that the bullet that was in that gun was in the magician's head.
Yeah.
It's not important to do it again, Your Honor.
Gotta find
I mean, that was the only real relevant thing that came out of all that. I mean, I haven't pressed on some of this other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the stuff's not there now.
Stuff in there?
There's nothing new.
Maybe I have to press again.
Oh my god, I don't even know where I fucking pressed to get all that. Do you know how much crap we're going to have to go through to get here?
Meow. 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 Meow.
Is that where I press? No, we just did
No,
that.
that was after.
Yeah, so how did I end up down that rabbit hole?
The one before it, actually?
I just pressed on the one before it and the one before that.
Uh-huh.
The hell is going on here? Me too, Phoenix. There we go. No, this was the right one.
Okay.
I guess.
Odd. Seven doves up your pocket and in your sleeve. That's where I keep all my doves.
Okay, there it is. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty.
Unfortunately, I have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. You present the wrong evidence.
Okay,
Or at the wrong spot.
Maybe I had to press on this and then...
Well,
the pistol was already
bring
loaded.
back the choices.
Huh?
Let's bring back the choices, wasn't it?
No, this is the part he just added.
Hey, I don't fucking...
Yeah, we already did this and redid it. You know, honestly, the Great Deku set doesn't look that cool.
Looks
The
awesome.
minifigures look cool, but the build doesn't look that much fun.
Awesome.
If this ain't right, I'm giving you the controller back. According to the defendant, Zach Gramery, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2?
2?
One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Vallon has told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. And he deserved to die. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story. Mr. Vallant, recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Ah. Mr. Vallant, if you fired that pistol, or this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead.
Shit. Order, order! What is all of a sudden?
What have I done?
Prosecutor Gavin?
I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them. But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? That was just this morning. I am still young. And, I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took one pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now.
Violent Grammy?
Yes, Your Honor?
You're presented to this court as a decisive witness. But you've proven to be more divisive than decisive.
Oh, look at the judge with the clever wordplay.
I know, very clever.
You'll see, in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next.
Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Valent entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove. Hey, Wright, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it.
Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. I'll determine who shot what.
Who shot what? Should call this video Who Shot You. I arrived at the hospital room at the appointed time.
I'm choking again.
Are you sick?
No, I'm literally just choking on water and spit and shit.
Why are you eating shit? I arrived at the hospital room at the
Maddie
appointed
from
time.
Vidious's phone number.
I'll go delete this fucking video. I stay up later than you remember.
We read this whole line.
I was going to. I wondered why the young YouTuber was eating shit.
I'm killing myself. If I'm found dead, it's Maddie's fault.
That's a horrible thing to say. I arrived at the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me.
Those times are rather close, you have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. To use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi.
It's easy to explain in this situation, Herr Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years, Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. The debut single was only 2 minutes, 15 seconds long. What a ripoff. Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth.
Very well. The prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times. And we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision.
I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands.
Point taken. Basic remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright.
Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are... Oh, sorry. "11:20 p.m. Can you prove that's when you arrived?" Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valent, for there was no one in that room but Magnifi, and he was departed after a fashion. I have here defendant Zach Grammer's sworn deposition. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. It was 10 minutes before I left the room, and the victim was still alive.
Time indicated by this letter to Zach was 11:05 p.m.
Exactly. Which means the witness could not have entered that room before 11:15, because his partner was still in the middle of his crime.
I see someone did, though, arithmetic homework.
You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness's testimony. Does that all make sense? You see any contradiction there?
I didn't say anything in it.
I don't see any problem with that testimony.
If you say so.
Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay. Come on and watch her play. New games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.